Last night, Iran launched 200 plus missiles and drones at Israel in response to their recent strike on Iran's top general and 5 other leaders in Syria. Missiles were exploding all over the nation, even some over the Temple Mount itself. What does the Bible say about things like this? This is Bible teacher Nelson Walters, and although you can get news like what I just reported anywhere, I know you tune into this channel for biblical analysis that you don't get anywhere else. Prophecy teachers all over the internet may be telling you to brace for World War III, maybe Gog or Magog. But what does the Bible really say? What is important, what isn't important in this latest strike on Israel? Well, one important thing is that despite years of rhetoric by Iran, this was the very first time Iran has struck Israel's soil directly from their country. In the past, they've always used their proxy allies to do their dirty work. But this is the first time drones, cruise missiles, and ballistic missiles have flown from Iran's motherland. So that's important, very important, because striking another nation can be an act of war. Maybe not this time, but it can be. Could this escalate? Yeah, it absolutely could. And although 200 missiles and drones were launched, only a couple touched down. And as of the writing of this report, only a single young 10-year-old girl was injured. This is also important. The Iron Dome held, but of even greater interest is that it wasn't just Israel shooting down missiles. The USA, they were shooting down missiles, and Jordan has also been confirmed to have shot some down, as well as Saudi Arabia. It appears it was a region-wide effort to repulse the Iranian attack. I'm sure that gave Iran some pause that fellow Muslims would side with Israel. I think what also is significant is that the missiles were exploding over the Temple Mount. A lot of scholars have discussed the possibility of an accidental, friendly fire strike from Muslims on the Dome of the Rock and how this might eventually lead to the building of a third temple. This event last night shows how that could absolutely happen. A missile fired and aimed somewhere else explodes right over the Temple Mount, comes crashing into the dome, and boom, it's gone. And, the whole world is going to explode at that point. That's something to really keep in mind. It's also important because I'm sure Iran was hoping to score some points with their own people. One of those, you killed our generals and we're going to make you pay kind of response. Iran has been economically and politically weakened over the past year, and this failed attempt to extract any real kind of revenge on Israel only made them look weaker. And what else is important is immediately after firing their drones and missiles, Iran issued a statement through the UN that appeared to give the Israelis a chance to de-escalate the attack. Let it be tit for tat, so to speak. Here's what they said, quote, "Conducted on the strength of Article 51 of the UN Charter, which allows self-defense, Iran's military action was in response to the Zionist regime's aggression against our diplomatic presence in Damascus." Of course, this killing of the generals has never been proved to have been from the Israelis, but the matter can be deemed concluded, they said. Let me say that again. The matter can be deemed concluded from Iran's standpoint. However, should the Israeli regime make another mistake, Iran's response will be considerably more severe. It is a conflict between Iran and the rogue Israeli regime from which the USA must stay away. And I personally think Israel will take this off-ramp opportunity and consider it yet one more attack in 70 years of attacks that it suffered and move on. They do have a meeting of their Joint Chiefs of Staff this morning and their War Council, but I expect they will probably do something very limited and not strike Iranian soil. I could be wrong, but that's what I think will happen. So perhaps this is going to end the incident with a whole lot of nothing, but it brings up a very important point that students of prophecy really need to understand from this channel's perspective. I cannot tell you how many emails we receive daily telling us We are on the verge of World War III, and Iran will soon be invading Israel. I am told this soon attack will either be the second seal of Revelation, Psalm 83 war, the Gog-Magog invasion, other ideas, or even a combination of all of these. I mean, you can't imagine the kind of emails we sometimes receive. So let's take this opportunity to discuss what the Bible says about Iran and Israel. It's actually a video we have never made before. When does the Bible say Israel and Iran go to war? Should we be watching Iran as a site from where an attack on Israel is going to be coming soon? Probably the number one Bible prophecy that I hear that will involve Iran is the Psalm 83 war. If you want our opinion on what the Psalm 83 war is and what it isn't, a link to that video is down in the description. I highly recommend it. But in a nutshell, Psalm 83 doesn't include Iran. Let me say that again. Psalm 83 doesn't include Iran. It includes a number of the Iranian proxies that surround Israel. The Iranian motherland itself, however, is not listed. Iran attacking Israel is not part of Psalm 83. Sure, Iran is involved behind the scenes, but their actual troops are not involved. The next big idea is that Iran attacking Israel is the second seal of Revelation, in Revelation 6:4. This is the event that takes peace from the earth. That's a big thing. It also means that earth has to be at peace to have peace taken from it. Now, many believe this is going to be World War III, and many believe Iran will be behind it all. Well, first, please notice, as we said, this is the second seal. What that means is the first seal has to happen first. And the first seal is almost assuredly the false peace covenant, which probably involves Israel. If you want to learn more about why this is so, watch this other video. The link is also down in the description as well. But the bottom line of this is the first seal comes before the second seal. We should be not watching for the second seal until the first seal breaks and the peace covenant is made. This is just elementary first grade math. Seal 1 comes before seal 2. Now, we do think there's a very good chance that seal 1 and the peace covenant with the many might happen in the fall of this year. It will be then that the clock starts ticking for the second seal to break. The wording of a second seal is that it takes peace from the earth. So peace has to begin before it can be taken away. We certainly aren't at peace now, which means we should not be looking for the second seal. We have to have peace first. This is a very important piece of biblical information about where we're standing right now. So is Iran involved in the second seal conflict? Well, we don't know. The Bible doesn't say directly. But it isn't time to watch for that just yet. So this is not the second seal. The third group of emails this ministry gets all the time is Iran's saber rattling is the beginning of the Gog-Magog invasion. In fact, you probably see this on the internet too, especially when we hear that Russia may be involved. Now, if you think Russia is part of the Gog of Magog alliance against Israel, or at least a major part, watch this other video. Again, the link is down in the description. Russia is not part of it. And that video explains why that is. Turkey is in charge of the Gog of Magog alliance. Also, Iran, as we said, isn't the leader of this alliance at all. Iran or Persia is named by name. They are in the invasion. They are part of the army, but they are a secondary player. Gog is the leader, and he is from Magog, which is Turkey, according to the records that have been archaeologically discovered in the annals of the Assyrian court and the Assyrian kings. So back at the time when Magog existed as a nation, Assyria knew who they were, and they said they were in Turkey. So if you're keeping your eyes on Iran because of Gog and Magog, they are only one part of the invasion. Turkey, Sudan, and Libya are involved as well, and, quote, many other nations with you. So many nations are included. If you want to learn more about the Gog and Magog invasion, watch this video. Again, it's down in the description. So from the best that this ministry can tell, Iran invading Israel directly is not part of Bible prophecy until at least the midpoint of the tribulation period or 70th week of Daniel, when Gog leads his hordes against them. Now, it's always possible that Iran will attack Israel in an attack not found in the Bible. Something, that isn't prophetic, it's just one of those off wars that happen. But prophetically, there just isn't anything about Iran invading till that point. And then, at that point, they aren't the leaders. They're just along for the ride. So how does Iran join with Turkey? You're probably wondering about that. Who's their traditional enemy, not their ally? That may be where we should be watching for what Iran does in the Middle East. Maybe it's something between Turkey and Iran, not between Iran and Israel. Click right here to keep watching, because Iran just doesn't ally with Turkey and then become subservient to them, become the second fiddle player for nothing. How does that happen? Till then, this is Nelson, and pray for the peace of Jerusalem.